Hello everyone, Paul with convertingcopy.com as well as MarylandSEOservices.net here with the must-have WordPress plugins for 2016. Now if you're not familiar with WordPress or plugins, WordPress is a free content management system software which makes creating a website very easy, creating content, uploading content, changing the look and feel of your website, all simple using WordPress. And plugins are basically software applications, both free and premium, which integrate seamlessly with WordPress / your website to give your website more functionality. So a few examples of this functionality might be to change your website's look aesthetically, provide a better user experience, offer shortcuts for you or your users, or maybe provide more detailed statistical information about your site to help you in moving forward. These are just a few possible examples. There are thousands and thousands of free and premium plugins to give you basically and virtually any kind of functionality that you want to get out of your website. So I mentioned they're both free and premium. There's some of each. I'm just going to be addressing free plugins throughout this presentation. So you don't have to spend a dime to get the functionality that you need out of your WordPress run website now in 2016. So let's get into them and you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And we start off with the backup WordPress plugin. So in case the worst ever happens on your website, you want to have a backup of your content so that you can upload that and without missing a beat once you get your site back up and running. Backup WordPress allows you to do just that. It's one-click simple. You can even schedule backups and have them emailed to you. So if you ever do lose your site for whatever reason, you'll have a backup of all the content, all of your articles, your posts, your pages, all of that content and images, anything else is all kept intact in this one singular backup WordPress file, which you can import just as easily using the same plugin. Now we have WordPress Super Cache. There are a number of different cache plugins, which are all free for the most part. And this is my choice, WordPress Super Cache. It caches your content so that it's more quickly accessible when someone visits your website. It loads more quickly, cuts down on load time, and basically delivers a better user experience for both the people using your website as well as in the eyes of the search engines. Now, I've talked in the past about how user metrics are one of the most important ranking factors in Google. So this falls under that umbrella of user metrics, how quickly your site takes to load for the people trying to use it. The quicker, the better, and WordPress Super Cache handles that for you very effectively. Next, we have the broken link checker. Now, if you find dead links on another webmaster's website, as I always say, a nice little trick is to point them out to that webmaster. And if you have similar content, maybe mention that to them so they can switch out the link to your content, and that can provide a valuable link for you. But on your own site, you don't want any broken links because this causes problems in the eyes of Google. They don't want to see someone go to your website, try to click a link on your website, which is either internal or external, meaning it's going to another page on your site or it's going to an external website. Either way, they don't want to see a dead link, which doesn't take them anywhere because that provides a bad user experience. Again, user metrics, it goes back into that. So it can mark against you basically in the eyes of Google and other search engines in terms of ranking if you have dead links or especially abundant dead links on your website. So the broken link checker does a nice quick check, tells you which links you might have on your website which are dead, and you can update or remove them accordingly. SEO by Yoast. SEO by Yoast is a very important plugin. I used to be an all-in-one SEO plugin guy, but now I am a Yoast SEO for WordPress plugin guy because it gives you basically a score for every web page on your website in terms of how well it should be ranking based on what they know about Google's ranking factors. So it takes everything that we know, which is not a lot clear-cut, but we have a lot of ideas about what works in ranking a website, and Yoast takes all of those into account, the SEO by Yoast plugin, and gives you a score for every single page on your site. So you can go into each single page of your website and perform mini SEO audits on every single page. So you can pick out your target keyword, which you're trying to target per page, and then you can make sure that that web page is optimized for that keyword. and they have just dozens and dozens of factors which you need to meet to get a perfect score. And the better you are to having a perfect score for that page, the more likely it will rank in the search engines. Now keep in mind, this is just on-page SEO. This is not going to affect you in terms of like linking, links pointing to that page, and things of that nature, which are of course very important in SEO as well. But that said, on-page SEO is very important, so if you can knock that out using the SEO by Yoast plugin, which makes it very intuitive and simple as they explain it to you, then that is half the battle right there. So it's a free plugin, get that going, and you should be in good shape for on-page SEO, that free plugin. All right, next we have Login Lockdown. I was saying something else. Sorry, Login Lockdown prevents brute force attacks on your WordPress URL by your login URL by automatically shut down a user after a few failed attempts. That's basically what brute force attacking is. Someone just tries thousands upon thousands of passwords on your login screen until something works. Normally, this is not an issue for most websites. They don't think anything of it. But if you have the Login Lockdown plugin installed, it can detect this kind of alarming behavior rather quickly and locks them out so they can't try more than a handful of times. And it gives you a few more options, as you can see here. If they try to use non-existent usernames, you can lock them out, which is great for locking them out on the first try. You can even lock out an IP source altogether. So I learned this the hard way probably 8 years ago when I was a victim of a brute force attack. And so luckily I had backups of everything thanks to some of the other plugins I've mentioned, but I quickly learned my lesson and have since began using the Login Lockdown plugin on all of my websites, and I recommend that you do the same. Alright, Ultimate Social Media Plus. You're probably wondering when we were going to get around to social media. I love this plugin. I think it's the best for getting social network integration and promotion on your website because it's so easy to use, it's so intuitive. You can put the social buttons anywhere you want. You can have them perform any action that you want, whether that's someone to just visit your page, like your page, share your content. You can choose all of these different options using this plugin. You can change the look and feel of the buttons, like I said, where they go. So basically, this is just my choice for the most usable, intuitive, configurable plugin when it comes to social content and getting your social network buttons on your website and visible for everyone to see and interact with. So just think about using that one. There's a lot of them out there, and I've used quite a few of them, but this is definitely by far gets my vote as being the best. And it's pretty regularly updated as well, which is a nice thing. Staying in the social vein, we have NextScripts Snap. This is an auto poster which takes posts and pages or whatever content you're putting on your website, and then it will basically create follow-up posts on all of your different social networks that you set it up to do. So this is a great way to maintain, or at least give the impression that you have maintained just a regular social presence, I should say, on your social networks. So every time you make a post on your website, if you have this plugin, this free plugin installed, then you can have it slingshot basically the same post over to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn, to your Twitter, to your Google+, all the social networks you want, so people can see that. They can see you're regularly posting, and you don't have to go to any extra work to make that happen. And it links back to your website, so you get some extra traffic that way. And yeah, it's just very, it's a big time saver basically. So while making it look like you have a regularly updated social network presence. And that is a snapping turtle right there. That's what that image is, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. That's how that ties in. Pretty Link allows you to create attractive, custom readable links right from your WordPress control panel. So instead of having, you've seen some links sometimes when you create them. There's a lot of just random strings of text which make those links possible. Well, you can make them much more user-friendly. Instead of saying YouTube URL, which is so many different strings and everything like that, you can just type in whatever you want it to say in the Pretty Link, put that in place, It will serve the actual link when they click on it, and it just makes everything look a lot more tidy. And you can also use it with Twitter, where you can create shorter links to include in your tweets. So always a good thing when you're limited with space character-wise with Twitter. So pretty link. Related entries is how I'm going to end this. This is a very simple plugin which includes links to relevant posts based on keywords at the end of a post of your site. So this does two things. One, it increases the chances that someone will continue to read more content and other pages of your website, which is great. Increases the amount of time that people spend on your website. Drops your bounce rate, so more people are not leaving after that first page because they're finding more content that's interesting to them. And it saves you from having to go in and make these links yourself, because it seeks out what your post was about, and from that it makes a decision about what other content. It goes through all the other content on your site, and based on the titles of those other posts, it can find what it deems to be relevant. So, and that also helps in terms of search engine optimization, because you have even more related content on that page, thank you in part to the Related Entries plugin, which of course is free like everything on this list. So that is the must-have WordPress plugins 2016 edition. You can use these WordPress plugins to get the most out of your website, and I wish you the best of luck to you and your website in the new year. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.